Hey guys, what's going on? Payton here once again, and welcome back to another episode of my Swansea career on FIFA 14. Now in this episode you're going to see fixtures against both Manchester teams, City and United. This one was in the FA Cup against City at the Etihad. The one against Manchester United you'll see a bit later on in this episode was in the Premier League. And then to finish things up you got a few highlights from the Aston Villa game. Also, we got the January transfer deadline day. Do I sign anyone else? As always guys, you're just going to have to stay tuned to find out. If you didn't know, I've already signed 3 players in this January transfer window. They are Bruno Martins Indy, I've got Josie Altidore, and also Jonathan Vieira. They are 3 players who I believe can keep this Swansea side going until the end of the season. Now this game against Man City in the FA Cup, what a game. Thoroughly enjoyed this one. It was just one of those games. The attack in football was top notch. There was no just sitting back and parking the bus. There was none of that. Both teams were just going hammer and tongs. They wanted to get through to the next round of the FA Cup. It just meant so much. Also, I took a chance and I actually started Bruno Martins Indy. This was his debut game against City. My other 2 new signings, they were sat on the bench for the first half of this game. I did bring them on in the second half. Tom Huddleston and Wilfred Bonney making way for Vieira and Josie Altidore. I was so looking forward to seeing what they could produce in this game against City. It's a top game against one of the top sides in England. Could the Swans overcome City? Could they overturn this deficit? Well, things went from bad to worse as new man for Manchester City, Vidal, who they signed from Juventus for 20 million within this January transfer window, and he extended City's lead to 2 goals. And Guidetti looking for his second goal, looking to make it 3-0 to City, which would have written Swansea out of this game completely, but with such a calm nature from Debuchy, managed to clear that and get an attack together. And we countered City so well. Andros Townsend getting Swansea back in the game just under an hour gone. 2-1, and it was all to play for. And what a decent finish there by Townsend, just striking the ball, thunderous shot into that top corner. Mandanda fully stretched and able to get a fingertip to it. Momentum certainly was shifting in favour of Swansea City after Townsend got that goal. And Jonathan Vieira, on his first game for Swansea, almost got his first goal. Look how close that was to maybe hitting against the post, maybe going across the line. You know, testing the keeper once again, fully stretched. So unfortunate. I know I said that I took Bonney and Huddleston off at the same time at the start of the second half. But actually, I took Bonney and Townsend off at the same time. So that was all 3 substitutes used. And I brought on new man Josie Altidore to come team up with Jonathan Vieira, hoping that Altidore could maybe produce something special. And he did. He got the equaliser within just minutes of being on the pitch for Swansea after being subbed on at the Etihad. It was very reminiscent of a Wilfred Bonney goal, I must say. And you know what? I'm thinking of changing the formation to a 4-4-2. See what Altidore and Bonney can produce together. Maybe we could get like a perfect partnership between Bonney and Altidore. And we certainly could use something like that as we head closer to the end of the season. That would be amazing. Look how easy Jonathan Vieira and Pablo Hernandez made it look, working their way through City's back 4, and they did a fantastic job. It's just unfortunate the ball didn't find the back of the net from that volley. Would have been a brilliant finish to the game, and it probably would have been the winner as well. But what better way to get a winner against Manchester City in the FA Cup but by a new signing in the transfer window, and that would be Josie Altidore. He made it 3-2, linking up fantastically with Jonathan Vieira there, just tearing Man City's back 4 apart. They were focusing on Vieira, that's where the ball was. But as the ball fell to the feet of Altidore, he just pulled the trigger and found the top corner, making it 3-2 to Swansea in the dying embers of the game. You saw the difference as well between the fans. That was brilliant to see. Swansea City fans on their feet and Manchester City all sat in their seats with fingers on lips. Manchester City certainly were silenced. And here is the last player that I would be going after in the January transfer window before it slams shut, and that would be Granit Xhaka from Mönchengladbach. I so hope I've just pronounced his name right. Probably not, but I put in an offer anyway of 3. I actually changed it here to something like 3.4 million, 3.5, and I offered them Ali Sissoko, who I feel has outstayed his welcome at Swansea now. I only signed him for that Europa League last season, and now he's not working out for me. They come back, they reject, and I put in an offer then of 4.5. They reject that, and so I just go ahead and say, yeah, take the full amount of how much you want, 5.5. I was getting slightly concerned as well because time was running out in the transfer window, and I was like, this isn't going to get sorted, this deal. We're probably going to have to wait until the summer now. Eventually they came back, they accepted the transfer offer. I offered him a contract of 25 grand a week. It's not too much for 4 years, crucial first team player. And with just 3 hours to go, I received the email that Schalke had accepted my contract offer, so I was well chuffed about that. And I've read that his overall potential rating can rise to something like 84, 85, 86, somewhere around that mark. Plus, I think Schalke adds that extra depth to the squad when it comes to that central midfield position, especially seeing that I've got rid of quite a few players in January, Rabiot being one of them, Carvalho another. So that wrapped up all business in January. The transfer window slammed shut, and then it was, you know, time to focus now, pull up our sleeves and get down to business and start picking up results and competing for that Premier League trophy. We've also got a tough fixture coming up in the Champions League knockout stages against Real Madrid. It's happening, guys, it's happening. Real Madrid are actually going to be coming to the Liberty Stadium in Wales. You know, I mentioned this in the last season. It's going to be mental, you know, having some of the world's top players actually coming to the Liberty Stadium and playing against this Swansea side that I've built over the period of 3 seasons. It's going to be a tough challenge, and I'm thoroughly looking forward to it. Anyway, we had to focus on this one against Manchester United. You've already seen the league table. We are just a point behind them. A win here was a must. We've already beaten them this season at Old Trafford. So I had that confidence that I could go on and do the double against United in the league. Also, I'd like to just quickly point out United's starting 11. What is David Moyes thinking? There is no Wayne Rooney. He's got Cleverley in that central attacking mid-role. I presume that he's got rid of Kagawa, otherwise he would have been starting this game. Anderson was starting, Zaha as well, Fabio, and Ben Amos in goal. Where's De Gea? Where's Lindegaard? I do hope, though, that in future FIFA games that EA fix that and make it more realistic, because the chances of the United manager picking Ben Amos, taking a chance on Ben Amos in a Premier League game, especially when they're so far down in the table, are very slim. So I'm just hoping that they fix that for future versions of FIFA. Anyway, as you saw, Wilfred Bonney made it 1-0 to Swansea. I was very happy about that. In a way, it kind of felt bad because I felt like I was betraying Manchester United, actually beating them. As you know, they are my favourite team. They're the team that I've always followed in football. Robin van Persie for Manchester United got them back on level terms, got the equaliser, decent header, picking out that bottom right hand corner, and it was a good assist by Darren Fletcher as well, something you don't see him do very often. So with the game stood at 1-1 at deadlock, Alexander Lacazette with a good shot there, ran the ball into the box. I was disappointed that Fabio didn't put up a challenge, but what a save by Ben Amos, fully stretched. I was expecting the ball to find the top left hand corner and to be celebrating and pulling off all the moves and whatnot. But we got a corner from it, and with that corner, John Matip made it 2-1 to the Swans, and that would be the winning goal, even though there was 7 minutes to go, and that Manchester United are known for piling on the pressure in the dying minutes of a game and grabbing late goals, but it just wasn't to be for United in this game, and Swansea did go on to do the double over United in the league this season. It was indeed a crucial win against Manchester United, crucial 3 points, as we will now leapfrog them and go above them by 2 points. But it's all still to play for in the league, and we had to focus on our next game against Aston Villa at home. Not many highlights from this game, to be honest. I'm not going to show you guys all that. I'll just show you the goals. Well, the goals were the only highlights really from this game. Everything else, it was just dull and uninspiring really. Bonney made it 1-0, keeping up his good goal scoring form. He's still top of the goal scoring list, top goal scorer. Jonathan Vieira got his first goal for Swansea, showing off those wonderful dribbling skills of his, taking the ball into the box totally unchallenged and netted that ball into the bottom left hand corner. Kanyas with a good attacking run here with a through ball pass finding Andros Townsend. I thought maybe Lowton for Villa was going to catch up with the ball, but no. Townsend whipped it in, found Altidore, who just wiped out every single Villa player within that 6-yard area, and it just showed determination, heading that ball with such force and power into the back of the net. So 3 goals, 3 points, can't get any better than that. We are on a roll at the moment, guys. But that may be crushed in the next episode when we play Real Madrid in the knockout stages of the Champions League. Anyway, guys, hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you all very soon for the next one.